Previously on Broncos Franchise.
Keep a lot of guys in the secondary. Mahomes looks to throw it. He goes short again. It's caught. It's another first down, but why are they wasting so much time? Tick, 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 tick. There's 5 seconds. They're going to have one more play. Ferguson in motion. They've got to snap the ball. Patrick, what are you doing? Snap the ball. Denver is going to the AFC Championship.
How in the world did we pull that off? After now having beaten the Chiefs 3 times this year, there's only one more opponent standing in our way of another AFC title. We'll be facing off against the Colts. Anthony Richardson and the gang heads to Denver as they look to make it to Super Bowl 63, and we'll see if they can be the ones to stop the Broncos on their quest to go back-to-back. This is a team we're quite familiar with, dating back to Season 2. Final game of the regular season, winner goes to the playoffs.
Floats it up, and it is caught for a touchdown! It's Greg Dulcich! A bodacious final drive!
The Colts would get their chance for revenge the following season in the wild card round.
Genty gets it on first down, inside the 5, trucks the defender, and he's in for a touchdown! A 2-play drive! The Broncos take the lead!
Whenever we've had a big game against the Colts in this series, we've come out on top. But maybe, with a matchup at this magnitude, the Colts can get their revenge. The AFC Championship here in Denver, the final full home game of the series. We only have 2 or 3 episodes left. Hopefully the Super Bowl, and then the long-term sim, and that will be it. We're looking to finish off strong, and, well, we certainly were able to do so in our win against the Kansas City Chiefs in the divisional round, 36-29. Whenever we play the Chiefs, it usually ends up being a shootout, very high scoring, but we've had their number in recent years. We beat them in the AFC Championship last season. We beat them 3 times this year, despite a great showing by Patrick Mahomes. Bo Nix was good for the most part, but he wasn't perfect. A late pick 6 by Trent McDuffie nearly won the Chiefs the game. Nix also fumbled twice, both of which were recovered by us. Isaiah Pacheco, the NFL's leading rusher, only had 3 yards, while Marvin Mims, Ashton Genty, and Ryan Williams all stood out for us. Williams only played the first quarter before getting injured, but he will be available. Nick Benito missed much of the game with injury. He will also be available for the AFC Championship. We are fully healthy going into this matchup. We've had our fair share of injuries throughout the year, but we have gotten healthy at the right time. Interestingly, we are the only home team who won in the divisional round. The top-seeded Eagles lost to the Bears. Obviously, we know the Colts beat Baltimore. And then the Cardinals, with second-year quarterback Dante Moore, beat Carolina, will go to the NFC Championship in a battle of number 1 picks as he is set to face off against Caleb Williams. So it should be a really fun matchup here with Indy, a team who I certainly did not expect to get this far, but with how Anthony Richardson has played as of recent, it's easy to see why. Both him and Lamar Jackson were brilliant. Richardson led all ball carriers in rushing, and then Josh Downs, who's basically their version of Marvin Mims, was terrific. 11 for 141 and 2 scores. The Colts defense made plays when they needed to. They didn't get any sacks, they didn't force any turnovers, but it could have been a lot worse, considering they're facing off against Lamar Jackson and friends. I did not have the Colts on my radar as a team who I thought we would see in the playoffs, however. They were always in the thick of it in the AFC South, and with Jacksonville's late season collapse and the Titans not building off their division title a season ago, the Colts ended up sneaking away and winning the division. Although for much of the year, they were fairly mediocre. 12th in scoring offense, 15th in scoring defense. Other than their run game, led by Richardson and Jonathan Taylor, they don't really have one set piece about their team that's great. And for much of the year, they were very average. They started the year 2-3, then they went on a little win streak. But that brings us to Week 12, when we played against the Colts on Monday Night Football and slaughtered them, 31-3. And the score doesn't do this game justice. The only reason why the Colts scored 3 points is that we basically handed them a field goal on a silver platter at the end of the first half, and probably could have won more had we not brought the backups in halfway through the third quarter. I mean, this was a bloodbath through and through. We were coming off a bad loss the previous week and were clearly hungry and out for revenge. And unfortunately for the Colts, they were the team standing in our way. After getting embarrassed on your home soil in primetime football, you could easily have seen the Colts lay back and die, ending their season. But I give these guys a ton of credit because they used this game as motivation to pick things up. The Colts won 5 of their last 6 regular season games. The offense really caught fire, and clearly that has carried into the playoffs. They've gotten hot at the right time, and they used their loss against us back in Week 12 as a turning point. That was rock bottom for the Colts, and ever since then, they have been maybe the hottest team in the NFL. Of course, they're led by quarterback Anthony Richardson, who is a 97 overall. He has developed extremely well for this team, and while he did not play very well in the Week 12 matchup against us, nobody on this team did, and since that game, over his last 8, he's been terrific. What I find most interesting about Richardson is that even though we still get the big plays from him, he's got the big arm and the elite rushing ability, his play style is very anti-Anthony Richardson. A lot of short passing, very efficient, very accurate, which is unlike the Anthony Richardson we know in real life. He had his worst game of the year against us, only completed 52% of his passes, threw an interception. I think he fumbled it twice as well. Not a good showing. Jonathan Taylor leads the way out of the backfield. These regression sliders were designed for running backs to get worse quickly in their late 20s, but you'll also see the occasional veteran who keeps at it. Clearly the case with JT. Josh Downs, Adonai Mitchell, Amari Thomas, and Cam Coleman lead the receiving room. Defensively, it's not an elite unit, but very well-rounded, led by Latu, and Jahdae Barron. They don't really have many superstars on the defense, but it's a very well-rounded group. Their roster lacks holes. I don't think they have many elite players per se outside of the dynamic duo in the backfield with Richardson and Taylor, but they have complemented those guys extremely well. Richardson has been able to live up to the high ceiling that scouts and evaluators saw with him when he went 4th overall. And Jonathan Taylor, who's in his 9th NFL season, has not regressed really at all, while other running backs in his peer group, such as Saquon Barkley, Josh Jacobs, Najee Harris, those guys have fallen off a cliff in recent years. A spot in Super Bowl 63 on the line. The Broncos feel like the front runner. Unlike last year when you had teams like the Chiefs and the Cowboys who had been there, now we've got teams who've never been here with Anthony Richardson, Caleb Williams, and Dante Moore. We're underway here in the AFC Championship as they look at Yomanori's out for the return for the Broncos. Up the middle, finds space and gets it near the 40. That'll bring out Bo Nix in the offense. Bo was mostly good in our win against the Chiefs last week, but he was a little reckless with the ball. Late 4th quarter pick 6 that could have cost us the game, along with 2 fumbles that were recovered by us, but ball security's got to be a little bit better. Joined by Genty in the backfield on 1st down. He scored twice a week ago. Up the middle, going backwards, it's Bentley Mitchell, the former 1st-round pick back in year 1 out of South Dakota State, a small school guy. 2nd and 11 now for the Broncos. Nix looks to throw it, tries to dance around under pressure, and he is sacked on the play. Latu leads the charge, joined by Bentley Mitchell and Joey Slackman, each of whom will get credit for half a sack. Nix was trying to evade the pressure to throw the ball away, but he couldn't get it out in time. On 3rd and 30, we're just going to run the ball. Try not to do anything stupid. Solid gain, though, from Genty to the outside for 15. That will not be enough for the 1st down, though. The Colts get the stop. Nakobe Dean brings him down. So Denver's first drive of the game, they get -5 yards and have to punt it away. Here's Anthony Richardson leading out the Colts offense. AR has become one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL over the past few seasons with Indianapolis, and the Colts figure to be a mainstay at the top of the AFC standings with his development. This is not Jonathan Taylor, it's the rookie Peyton Lewis getting started with a gain of 14. 2nd-round pick out of the University of Tennessee. They believe he will be the long-term starter once Jonathan Taylor eventually is no good. Taylor tries to break the tackle, but he loses a yard. Bossa with the initial hit. Baron Browning brings him down. Nick Bonito is still down, going to the locker room. I guess Nick Bonito's just never allowed to play in the playoffs. He missed most of the game last week. He was out for much of our playoff run last season, did not play in the Super Bowl. As Taylor does get the first down conversion, another good tackle by Baron Browning, but Taylor does convert. A broken foot for Bonito. He is out for the game, and if we do win and make it back to the Super Bowl, I cannot imagine he will play. That's super unfortunate because he didn't get to play in the Super Bowl last year in our win against Seattle. 2nd and inches. Taylor hit hard, but another first down, and the Colts are marching nicely. They've got it in the red zone, looking to score first. 3rd and 7 from the 18-yard line. Richardson looks to throw it under a little pressure. Dances around, and he is sacked. Wrapped up on the play by Baron Browning. What a drive for Browning. Michael Williams sending help as well. Browning, one of the many players on this roster not under contract for next year, as that'll bring out the field goal unit for the Colts. Towns McGo, the rookie from Auburn, splits the uprights from 41, and Indianapolis strikes first. They lead 3-0. We're hoping for a better drive than the first one. It's an RPO. Genty's got it, and he's able to get the first down. We're using him early and often. Genty historically has played well against the Colts. Nix under duress, on the run. It's caught by Genty to the outside. He gets a first down to the 45. How did that work? That probably should have been a sack, but instead we get the first down. You know, I'm not going to complain. Nix down the field for the youngster Ryan Williams to the 7. 4 catches, 59 yards for Williams in the win last week, and he did that basically in 1 quarter before getting injured early in the second. 3-0 through 1. The Colts ahead, but the Broncos are marching on the doorstep. We've got it inside the 10-yard line. Our second drive has been a lot better than the first one. We'll see if Denver can punch it in. Look to be the first team with a touchdown and take the lead. To start the second quarter, Travion Henderson did not get a touch in the first. Gets it here to start the second and plows his way into the end zone for a touchdown. No points in the first quarter, but we score on the first play of the second. Travion Henderson makes it 7-3. Denver with their first lead of the game as he's able to lower the shoulder down. Even though Genty's known as more the physical bruising back, he trucks the defenders and Chris Olave in his way. Colts get it back. Richardson fires for Adonai Mitchell. Curls get the girls. I would know. 2nd and 5 at the 39. Indy moving it well here on this possession as Richardson looks to throw it. Scrambles around under pressure. He is sacked. Damon Clowney brings him down with Nick Bonito likely out for the remainder of the playoffs if we make it to the Super Bowl. Damon Clowney's a guy who's probably going to play a lot more. Him, Uyunglele, and Seth Jennings. That one is broken up on 3rd down. Marvin Grant, another one of our impending free agents, jars the ball away. Amari Thomas, the intended target for the Colts. Denver has it back, 3rd and 6. Nix looks to throw it. Under pressure, up the middle, incomplete. Trying to go deep for Ryan Williams, but Nakobe Dean got a hand on it, and the Colts get it back. This is turning into kind of a low-scoring game so far, much like our previous matchups with the Colts. That one's nearly intercepted in and out of the hands of Colin Wright. He should have caught that one. Had a real chance to break this game open. 2nd and 10, Richardson under pressure on the run. Another drop pick. Jeffrey Bossa had it in his hands. We've got to come down with these guys. What are we doing? 3rd and 10 at the 39. Indy with a 3rd lifeline. Richardson, it's dropped again. Colin Wright had another pick in his hands, and he can't come down with it. I mean, at least we got the 3 and out, but these defenders have butterfingers. Dropped interception, and dropped interception. What a drive. 3rd and 7. Nix up the middle. He's got Ryan Williams. 4 catches, 50 yards. He's been extremely impactful again, much like last week. But unlike that game, he hasn't gotten injured. Knock on wood. Williams producing here when the lights shine the brightest. Nix on 3rd down, looks to scramble, has room, gets the first down, and slides at the 30. A good run for Bo Nix. As that brings us to the 2-minute warning here in the first half. 7-3 lead for the Broncos, and we're looking to add to it nearing the red zone at the 26. 2nd and 6 for Denver. Nix looks to throw it. He will look up the middle. It's hauled in by his tight end, Harold Fannin at the 12. Denver back in the red zone, looking to make it a 2-score game. And we're in no rush. We're letting this clock go. 50 seconds left. Nick's up the middle. He's got Williams tackled in the end zone for a touchdown. Red hot Ryan. Ryan Williams makes it 14-3. 5 catches, 61 yards, and a score in the first half. What did I say earlier about him playing at his best when the lights shined the brightest? The 21-year-old was made for the moment. Colts have it back with 40 seconds and 2 timeouts. Richardson up the middle. There's Amari Thomas to the 40 as they use their second timeout. This is a 2-for-1 for the Colts. They had the ball now and they start with it in the third quarter. So this is really their best chance to get back into the game. Even if they only get a field goal here, make it a 1-score game before half. Richardson up the middle. That one is hauled in by Adonai Mitchell to the 35. Got to keep an eye on that clock, though. 23 seconds. I would think they will use their last time out here, and they're not. Why? There's 6 seconds left. What are they doing? 5, 4, 3. Richardson, it's caught. Jawan Johnson tackled after the clock hit 0, and that will end the first half. Indy holds onto their timeout too long, and it bites them in the rear end. 2 weeks in a row with the clock management. Last week with Kansas City, now with the Colts. The ball seems to be bouncing our way. Whatever devil magic the Chiefs used to have now belongs to us as we lead it 14-3. We're going to get back into the Super Bowl after winning it last year. The winner of the Bears and Cardinals awaiting the winner of our matchup. That game will be after this one. So that means there's no spoilers on the bottom for you peekers who are trying to see who we could potentially play against if we get the win. Game's not over, though. We've still got some work to do. The offense has been pretty average. I mean, Bo Nix has been really efficient. 12 of 14, 102. Hasn't really looked downfield a ton, but he's not missing throws. The run game's been solid. Obviously, Williams leading the way through the air. We've got to get our other lead receivers more involved. Olave, 2 catches, 7 yards. Marvin Mims, 1 catch for 4 yards. Defensively, we've been terrific. Richardson, 8 of 15, 84 yards and a few drop picks. Jonathan Taylor only has 26 yards. Really important drive for the Colts to start the third as Jawan Johnson gets the first down, his 5th catch of the game. He has been busy for Indianapolis. The Colts got to score here. Field goal, touchdown ideally. Make it a 1-score game. Make it interesting as Taylor's going backwards. Mykel Williams brings him down. Adonai Mitchell hurt on the play for the Colts as he limps back to the sideline. Now a 2nd and 11 here for Indy. They have not been consistent moving the ball down the field. They had the field goal early. That's been it. Richardson floats it up down the field. It's caught! Cam Coleman to the 15. There's the big play Indianapolis has been waiting for. There's the big gunslinger, Anthony Richardson, that we know he can be. Coleman leaves Benjamin Morrison in the dust. Somebody moved there on 2nd and inches. If that's on the Colts, that could be a big deal, and it is. False start against the All-Pro veteran Quentin Nelson, who's been a mainstay on this team for over a decade. That'll move him back 5 yards. 2nd and 5. Richardson keeps it himself, and he's going backwards. It's Drew Sanders who brings him down. We have another penalty, though, and it is again on the Colts. It's a holding on Easton Kilty, the right tackle, former Kansas Stater, who's surprised. And they had a 2nd and inches. Now it's a 3rd and 15. Richardson in the zone, goes short. It's caught. Johnson with a block. Johnson gets the first down. When in doubt, even with penalties and sacks, you can count on this defense to not play well behind the sticks. Them and Kansas, I'll never get it. 2nd and goal. Richardson on the run. Gets by Williams. Nice tackle by Jeffrey Bossa, holding him out of the end zone. The NFL's leading tackler, making it a pivotal 3rd and goal at the 3 for the Colts. And if they don't get it, they've got to at least consider going. Richardson scrambles. This time he will not be caught. Anthony Richardson walks the red carpet in for a score, and the Colts are going to make it a ball game. They are within 1 possession and may very well go for 2 to try to bring the lead within 3. Richardson decides to scramble again. This time he has a little bit more room as Damon Clowney does not see him scrambling until it's too late. Now on for the two-point try to bring it within 3. Richardson will throw it. Scrambles again. Richardson does get in. Anthony Richardson fighting for the yardage. Him and Bossa in a battle with each other. But it's Anthony Richardson with an octopus. He scores all 8 points on the possession as the Colts are hula-hooping their way to just a 3-point deficit. Denver gets it back. Not a bad start to the third for the Colts. They score 8 points, and it's a field goal game. Play action. Nix on the run. Where has this guy been? Marvin Mims breaks a tackle to the 48. Denzel Ward and Juju Brents on the outside have been terrific. They have kept Mims and Olave out of the game plan so far. 3rd and 4. Nix goes short. Ryan Williams has been the star today as he gets the first down to the 29, his 6th reception of the game. Somebody's banged up there. That looks like a Colt defender. 3rd and 10 at the 29. Nix looks to throw it. Has time up the middle. It's Mims. Outruns Denzel Ward and gets it to the 8. Mims open up the middle. Now we're starting to get Marvelous Marv a little bit more involved with 2 really big gains. After the Colts scored their touchdown, we're looking to respond. RPO. Olave breaks the tackle, and he is in for a score. So the Colts get a touchdown. Denver says what you can do, we can do better. Back to his 2-score lead. String music in the end zone for the Denver offense as Olave makes it 21-11. I think we had, 2 total touchdowns in the first half? Both offenses with touchdowns to start the third. Play action. Richardson, I don't think he was looking up the middle. Did he just Mahomie it? As he's got Jawan Johnson, 3rd and 6, play action. Richardson goes short. It's Downs who will get the first down. Good tackle by Colin Wright. Josh Downs has been pretty quiet in this one for Indianapolis. Surtain and Wright have both done a good job with him. 3rd and 1, Taylor with it up the middle, gets the first, trying to break away from Jaden Hicks. Has overall been an uneventful game for Jonathan Taylor, though. Arguably the best run defense in the NFL continues to look the part as a Colt goes to the locker room. Just under 2 minutes to go here in the third. Richardson still in the zone, up the middle. What was that? Cam Coleman will not be brought down. Wrapped up at the 2 by Jeffrey Bossa. A pitiful display of tackling by the Denver defense, and now the Colts are in prime position to cut the lead back to 3. 1st and goal. Richardson caught. Touchdown. Indy back within a field goal. Roberto Miranda with the score. An unlikely culprit, but he's the one who makes the play for Indy, and it's 21-18. A low-scoring defensive first half. Only 17 combined points. Yet we've got 21 in the third. Both teams have scored touchdowns every time they've gotten the ball. PAT nearly blocked. The rookie Earl Culp had a jump on it. That was our chance to potentially get a big play. We just saw yesterday in the Big 12 Championship, Viliami Manupuna with a big blocked field goal in a game that we ended up winning by 3. So we'll see if that comes back to bite us as Trey Henderson gets it to the 37. Good run with a minute left in the third. Now on for the final play of the third quarter. 2nd and 3 at the 44. Play action. Nix looks to throw it. He wants it all. Deep down the field. 1-on-1 for Mims. No! Julius Brents deflects it away. That throw was on the money. I mean, if he wanted to get it to Mims, he couldn't have thrown it any better, but Brent stayed with him the entire way. A-plus coverage as that will bring us into the final quarter. Put your 4s in the chat, fellas. 21-18. Denver a quarter away from getting back to the Super Bowl. This one's far from over. The Colts offense did nothing in the first half, but boy, have they awoken here in the second half so far. 3rd and 3. Nix scrambles, has room, and gets the first down, sliding at the 50. Bo Nix has been so cautious with the ball. We saw the interception and the 2 fumbles last week, but he's been really safe and efficient with it. Here's Genty on 3rd and 4. Only gets 2. And that'll make it really interesting on 4th down. What does Denver do? I was hoping he would get at least 3 so we could potentially bring on Samu Tamu-Manpepe, but I don't think we're going to do that here on a 4th and 2. We will still go for it. Nix scrambles on the run. He will get the first down. Still on his feet. Wrapped up at the 25. A huge conversion, but possibly an even bigger penalty. Holding on Andrew Thomas. That is unfortunate. That'll make it a 4th and 12. Obviously, we're not going to go for it here. We're going to have to punt it. So we're going to have to put our fate into the defense with 7:45 to go. What a punt down at the 9. Door is wide open, though, for the Colts, whose offense has been excellent in the second half, scoring touchdowns on both of their drives. First down with just under 8 to go. Short passes caught. Downs thrown to the sidelines by Marvin Grant. Does end up going for a gain of 6. Time's certainly not of the essence here for Indianapolis. They're going to try to treat this like a somewhat normal drive as Taylor loses 5. Jaden Hicks leads the way. I think he's had his best game as a Bronco. 3rd and 9. Richardson looking to throw, and it's caught! Jawan Johnson to the 33. He baits Jeffrey Bassa with the double move. A rare coverage loss for Bassa from the 33. It's Jonathan Taylor with it, and he does not get much. Hicks and Surtain both there to quickly bring him down. Our defense has only allowed 18 points despite not many big plays. No turnovers, only a couple of sacks. They obviously have not been good so far in the second half, as that one is hauled in at the 37. Quick tackle by Bassa. That's Jawan Johnson. And now we're looking at a pivotal 3rd and 6 with 5.5 to go. Richardson looks to throw it, scrambles, and he is sacked! Biggest play of the year, it's Aleem! The Dream! McNeil! Who brings him down. I think here on 4th and 8, it's too early to go for it. The Colts are going to put their fate into their defense as ours gets a stop on the biggest drive of the year. Aleem McNeil has not been as good as he was a year ago, but he might have made the biggest play of our season as Williams gets it to the 32. This feels eerily similar to the Kansas episode yesterday. Up by 3, 5 minutes to go. We needed Cornell Teamer and Ty Lord to win us the game, and they both did. Now it's the same for Trey Henderson and Ashton Jeanty as Henderson gets a gain of 5, starting the drive with a pass. Interesting play call, but a good catch by Trey. 2nd and 5, another pass. RPO, Olave gets the first down to the 47. When we got the ball in the Kansas game, we had it with 5 minutes left in the 4th. Arkansas did not get the ball back. The goal is the same right here. Do not give the Colts a chance to win. Jeanty with a first down. Juke move to make sure he stays in bounds as he gets it to the 29. A huge run for Jeanty as that one goes for a gain of 24. Denver's in field goal range, but we're not really thinking about points. We're thinking about this clock. Henderson nearly gets the first down. Look at the play clock and the game clock. The game clock is half a second ahead of the play clock, which is huge for us because we get to run it down to the 2-minute warning. That was a smart play by Henderson. Rather than run into the contact, try to go to the outside and extend that play for as long as he could. And because of that, we had the 2-minute warning right here rather than having to run another play. Really smart football by Trey Henderson. 2nd and 1, Jeanty up the middle, gets the first down as he trucks forward to the 10. Now the Colts are going to have to start calling these timeouts. I think Indy will get the ball back, but the problem is they might be down by 2 scores. At the 10, it's Jeanty with open room. He does not want to score so quickly. Down at the 3, and is going to make the Colts burn another timeout. That's a gutsy decision, though. We could have made it a 2-score lead, but ultimately decide against it. Clearly confident we can score again. 2nd and 3, Jeanty will not risk it a second time. Jukes into the end zone for a touchdown, and the Denver Broncos are up by 10. I wanted to get the Colts to burn a second timeout, but on 2nd and 3, I knew it wasn't worth going down again. Let's take the touchdown, let's take our 10-point lead, and let's put ourselves in a good spot to close out this game. Really good drive. Great, smart plays from both Jeanty and Henderson. So unlike the Kansas game, the Colts will get the ball back, but they're down by 10, so we'll take it. Richardson on the run, gets around 6. He's wrapped up by Surtain. Colts have no time to waste. They've got to move it. Minute 20 to go with 1 timeout. Here's Richardson on 2nd down under pressure. He's sacked off the blitz. It's El Jefe. Jeffrey Bassa. 3rd and 12. Richardson looks to throw it. Flag on the play. Short pass is caught by Taylor. Hit hard by Grant. We'll see what the penalty is. It looks like it's on the offense, a holding against the Colts. So what do you do here if you're the defense? 4th and 5 or 3rd and 22? I thought about it for a little bit, but I decided to take the yardage. So it's a 3rd and 22, back at the 13 with under a minute. Short pass is caught. Downs is out of bounds, so they will have time to figure out this 4th down play call. Good tackle by Conlon Wright. And the Colts season is on the line here. 4th and 14, a spot in Super Bowl 63 on the line. Richardson looks to throw it, wants it all. Tipped, incomplete. Marvin Grant with the deflection, and this game is over. Back-to-back AFC titles for the Broncos, who are headed to the Super Bowl. We will have another episode before the long-term sim. The Broncos will look to go back-to-back as we defeat the Colts in a tough, gritty matchup. 28-18, the biggest game of Anthony Richardson's NFL career. He falls short, but only being 26 years old, 2 years younger than Bo. I have the feeling Richardson will make it back at some point in his career. Our team is just too experienced, though. You saw it on the last drive. Trey Henderson extending the play before the 2-minute warning. Ashton Genty diving shy at the end zone. We've got smart, savvy football players who have been there, done that. This group has been on a Super Bowl run already. They know exactly what it takes, and you've seen the experience win this team games throughout the year. It won us the game against Kansas City last week, and it helps us win today against the Colts. Very efficient game on offense. Not a lot of big plays, but ball control, lack of incompletions. Bo Nix not turning the ball over. Really, really solid game. 20 of 25, only 198. He didn't miss many throws. 22 for 33, 263, and a score for Richardson. He was very good in the second half after a quiet first half. 83 yards for Ashton, 36 for Trey. Both of those guys, Genty in particular, were impressive. Jonathan Taylor, only 2.5 yards per carry. 9 for 98 for Jawan Johnson. 674 and a score for Ryan Williams. He was good. Olave and Mims were more active in the second half, both overall quiet. Fannin and Brazel quiet as well. I thought the offensive line had a really good game overall. Bo Nix was not under much pressure other than the first quarter. Defensively, Baron Browning, Jaden Hicks, they had their best games of the year. Aleem McNeil, the biggest play maybe of the series so far with that 3rd down sack. We made timely plays when we needed to, and outside of the third quarter, we only allowed 3 points. It was a really solid game overall defensively. Nick Bonitto's foot fracture is not as bad as we think, but I don't think he'll be healthy enough to play the Super Bowl, which, again, since he didn't get to play in the Super Bowl last year, this really sucks for him. Luckily, everybody else is healthy, though. So now the question is, who will it be? The Cardinals or the Bears? 2 underdogs who were not expected to be here at the beginning of this season. One of them will be our challenger. Super Bowl 63 here in Tampa, Florida. The defending champion Denver Broncos, the heavy favorite, look to make it back-to-back. Bo Nix joining an illustrious group of quarterbacks with 2 rings. The one man in his way shared a draft class with him. Former #1 pick Caleb Williams leads the Chicago Bears to their first Super Bowl appearance in over 20 years. The Bears have been largely irrelevant throughout this series. They didn't even win the division this year, but they have won 3 road playoff games. They beat 3 division champions. And now they look to topple the mountain and defeat the Denver Broncos in Super Bowl 63, premiering this Monday. Hope you guys are ready.